You guys are good. Good morning. Okay, no, you could do better than that. Good morning. All right, thank you all for being here. My name is Dr. A. I'm the director for the Center for Economic Education, and this is...
I'm Zan. I work for the Federal Reserve. Some of you guys might know me because I came into your classroom.
We really appreciate you being here. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to tell me the honest truth. Are you excited to be here today? Does it sound like it?
It doesn't sound like you're excited.
Are you excited to be here today? All right. All right, now it sounds like it. Before we get started, I want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, I want to thank our sponsors. BB&T is in the house. That's where you give a round of applause. All right. And then we have Citi in the house as well. Round of applause for them. We would not be able to do what we do without their sponsorship, so thank you so much. I also want to thank the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland for their partnership and for the curriculum, so round of applause for them, please. All right, I have to do the social media thing. If you're doing anything on social media, use the hashtag DDA2019. There is one other thing that I want to get started as well, tell you about, our numbers for the year. We increased the number of schools that are participating to 16, and then increased the number of students participating to 847. Round of applause, yes. All right, so it's been a good year. We have a great program ahead of us. Before we get started, I want to get a roll call. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the name of the school up there. When you see the name of your school, I want you to get as loud as possible. Can you do that? Yeah. All right. Let's see what the first school is. Holy Trinity. Woo! All right, we have 28 students from Holy Trinity. Thank you for being here. Next school, you guys ready? Southgate. Woo-hoo! All right, I like that energy. Let's see if the next school has that much energy. Rothenberg. Woo! All right. Do you want to call out the next school? Sure. 1, 2, 3.
Westwood Prep. Come on, guys.
Woo! All right. The next school is Central Elementary. All right. You guys are excited. Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. You guys are so good. I really appreciate it. So I know why you're here. You're here to see our speaker for the day, Ty Allen Jackson. So I'm going to introduce Ty. Ty is a good friend of mine. He wrote an amazing book, a book that I love. I read all the time, and every time I read it, I learn something new. Did you learn something new? Yeah. All right. So with that said,
we have to ask him.
Yeah.
How many people want to be a millionaire like Danny Dollar?
Thank you, Zan. All right. With that said, I'm going to introduce Ty Allen Jackson. Ty, come to the stage. Thanks for being here.
All right, let's do this. Come on, let's act like this is a party, y'all. Come on. Louder. Let me hear you say, Danny. Danny. Dollar. Dollar. Danny Dollar. Danny Dollar. Scream. You guys are awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. That was really dope. So it's really an honor and a privilege to be here before all of you. It is so amazing to see so many friendly, smiling, future millionaire faces participating within Danny Dollar Academy. And so before anything, I need to introduce myself. My name is Ty Allen Jackson. I am the children's book author of Danny Dollar. I showed this picture to a friend of mine. He said, it looks like a hairy M&M with glasses. And I said, yeah, that's about right. Oh, so do I look like a hairy M&M with glasses? Yeah, maybe a little bit. That's okay. So we're all here because of this book. This book has inspired so many of us. That's right, you can hold your books up in the air. That's what's up. Throw them up in the air, wave them nice and proud. Very, very cool. So you've obviously all read Danny Dollar. Danny Dollar is about so many different things. Danny Dollar is about overcoming obstacles. Danny Dollar is about friendship. It's about goodwill. It's about believing in yourself. But of course, we know the main thing about Danny Dollar is money. Now, money is a very important tool, obviously. It's not the most important thing in the world, but it is something that's incredibly important that we all need to know a lot about and a lot about soon. But what is money? What? You want to read it all together? Go. Yes. Excellent job. So, you know, it's funny. That is the definition of money, but many of us look at money really differently. Like, a lot of people look at money as something that's the most wonderful thing in the world. If we had money, our lives would be so much better. Money is the best thing in the world, and with money, we can do anything we want. Some people have that mindset. I don't believe that. But some people also have the mindset that money is the root of all evil. It's this greedy thing that if we have it, we can do things with it. And you know what? Money is neither good nor bad. Money is a tool. And like any tool, you can do good things or you can do bad things with it. You can create or you just can destroy things with it. Money is a tool. And like any tool, we need to learn how to use it. So using money, before you can even use it, you first have to earn it. And I think a lot of you have done a great job in doing that by participating in Danny Dollar Academy. Once you earn it, you need to learn how to learn to save it. Saving is probably the most important component to how to use money as a tool to better your lives. The more money you save, the more money you keep. The more things you keep, the greater things that you can purchase, which brings up to our next thing, which is spending is obviously an incredibly important tool. If you spend foolishly, you tend to have less money. If you spend wisely, you tend to have more money. Another thing is invest. Now, we all know Danny Dollar is about investing. He wants to take his money, become an investor, and that's how he's going to make his millions. Investing simply means buying something that helps you make even more money. And another thing that you can do with money is that you can use it to donate. Now, I know it sounds crazy to give money away, but actually, besides it being a good thing to help your community or help whomever is in need, it also is a tax write-off, but you know, you could talk about that at another time. So, the other thing that Danny Dollar is all about is entrepreneurship. Now, when I travel across the country, as I talk to kids about being an entrepreneur, a lot of them think that you have to be 18, 19, 20, or to be an adult to be an entrepreneur. But the reality is, you could be any age and become an entrepreneur. As a matter of fact, some of my favorite entrepreneurs are your age. And when I think about entrepreneurship for young people, I think about bow ties. And the reason I think about bow ties is because one of my favorite young entrepreneurs wore a bow tie every day to school. And his name was Mo Bridges. Mo Bridges would wear his bow tie to school, and so many people would compliment him on his bow tie that they would say, "Where'd you get it?" And he would say, "I made it." And he would start selling his bow ties. He started selling so many bow ties that he started his own company called Mo's Bows. Now, I could tell you a little bit more about Mo, but I figure I'm going to let Mo tell you himself.
design bow ties. Ever since my mom allowed me to dress myself, I've been interested in fashion. I would even ride my bike in a suit and tie and go to the playground in a suit and tie.
I noticed Mo was a stylish child at about 4 years old.
People say why bow ties, and I say because it's just in me. I want to look good and feel good. I was 9 years old when I started making bow ties.
Just make sure it's, yeah.
My grandmother taught me how to make bow ties. Of course, the bow tie was a little crooked, but I made progress.
Mo's granny, who is 81 years old, has been sewing since she was about 12 years old. So she had all the resources and the know-how, as well as vintage fabrics that Mo was able to use to start making bow ties.
When I first started making the bow ties, people just started noticing me. They were like, hey, where did you get that bow tie? And I was like, I made it myself.
And from there, he's like, Mom, maybe I just start selling them. I said, that's not a bad idea.
And so after that, we got my business in business.
I run the business full time just so that Mo does realize and recognize that education comes first. I do allow him to set his own time, set his own business hours in an effort not to burn him out. If you want to do it, Mo, that's fine. If not, that's fine.
I have 3 seamstresses, and it's great to see all the people that support me and help me go through my business.
Oh, right there.
I'm the CEO of Mo's Bows, and my mom is the CEO of Mo.
He's a fun boss, but he's a very serious boss. He comes in, he says yes, 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 no, 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 and then he's done.
I sell my bow ties in 12 stores across the South and online, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Easy breezy.
As momager, I have 2 full-time jobs, of course. Running the business and then parenting Mo. Making sure he gets the garbage out.
She always has to tell me to take out the trash. I have a charity called GoMo, and it's a bow tie that the proceeds go to help kids go to summer camp. Because you know it's hot in Memphis and kids want to go swimming and they need to just be a kid. Also, that's when child hunger is at its highest. And I figured since they don't go to school to get their daily lunch, they can go to summer camp and get lunch.
That makes me proud that I've actually taught him it's more than a business. It's more than about making money. It's definitely about making a difference.
I just had a passion for what I wanted to do, and I had a passion for my business. And I figured that since I made it this far, I think I can do anything.
Round of applause for Mo Bridges. I love that story. When he first started out, it was just him, his mom, and his grandmom. Now he's got a whole team of people working for him. As a matter of fact, besides that, he also has a lot of high-profile clients that have brought his bow ties. You might have seen some of these faces before. So you notice a lot of NBA players are wearing his bow ties, and there's a good reason. Just last year, Mo Bridges signed a multi-million-dollar deal to be the official tie of the NBA. He also has one other high-profile client, customer. You might have seen this guy somewhere before. So, as awesome as it is for Mo Bridges to have a multi-million-dollar business selling his ties to the NBA and even presidents of the United States, I think if you was to ask him what's the coolest thing about being an entrepreneur, I think he would tell you that the fact that he's doing something that makes the world a better place, that's the reason that we, in essence, become an entrepreneur. We see a need and we service that need, and that need often makes the world a better place. The fact that he's created a product that makes people feel good about themselves is his way of making the world better. And I think that's pretty amazing. Another one of my favorite young entrepreneurs is a young lady who sells lemonade. What a coincidence. Her name is Michaela Ulmer, and she has a pretty amazing story also.
My name is Michaela, and I'm the owner of Be Sweet Lemonade. I can do something really big in this world. Our bigger mission is to educate families about learning how to save the bees. They're one of our largest, most biggest pollinators. Saving the bees is something I have a passion for. It needs to be done. Bees contribute over $15 billion to the U.S. economy a year. Healthy bees saves us a lot of money. I really love my new label. It actually has my face on it, so it makes me feel really special. I got to pick out which one I liked the best, and my favorite one was the one with the most bees and hearts and stuff on it. Be Sweet Lemonade is sold in a growing number of Whole Foods. I also sell Be Sweet Lemonade out of my lemonade stand sometimes. I just feel very grateful. Bees are so important. Tiny insects that can do so much. You can find all of the wonderful flavors of Be Sweet Lemonade at besweetlemonade.com.
So Michaela Ulmer actually said something on that video that isn't true. She said that her lemonade is in a growing number of Whole Foods supermarkets. That's actually not true. It's in every Whole Foods supermarket, because just 2 years ago, she signed an $11 million deal for her lemonade to be in every Whole Foods supermarket. Another round of applause for Mrs. Ulmer. So Danny Dollar really is about so many amazing things, like I said before. It's obviously about money, but it is also about overcoming obstacles. And overcoming obstacles is exactly how Danny Dollar got started. So I want to tell you a quick story how I came up with the idea for Danny Dollar. And so about 10 years ago, my son was about 6 years old, and he asked if he could open up a lemonade stand. So we went on the corner with a cardboard box and a pitcher of lemonade, and in 3 hours, he sold $50 of lemonade, which totally blew my mind, because I'm thinking we're just going to make $5, $6, go get some ice cream and call it a day. $50 is a whole new conversation. So he said, Dad, what am I going to do with all this money? And I honestly didn't know. So my mom always taught me, when I don't know the answer to a question, I can always find that answer in a book. So I went to my local bookstore to find a book to teach my son about being an entrepreneur and about money. And out of the thousands of books that were on the shelf, I couldn't find one book to teach my kid about money. Boom! I got an idea. Maybe I could find someone to write a book about finance and entrepreneurship that teaches kids about money, because I don't know anything about writing a book. And then I thought about this quote from someone named Gandhi. And that quote is, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." If you want to see something in the world happen, who is the person that needs to do it? You are the person. So I wasn't going to let someone else write that book. That was my job to do, because it was my idea. So I went home and I started typing. And the name Danny Dollar just popped into my head. And it took me a good year to learn how to write a story, because I never thought about writing a book before. So after 1 year, I had this manuscript, and it was so awesome. I think this is going to be an amazing book. Now, if you want to get a book published, this is how it works. You have to give your manuscript or your story to an agent, and then the agent will take it and give it to a publisher, and then the publisher will turn it into a book. So I reached out to 147 agents from New York to California, and I was rejected 147 times from New York to California. Nobody wanted to publish my book. Nobody. It at first made me really sad. Then it made me really mad. And I took that energy from being mad, and I learned how to start my own publishing company. And the name of that company is called Big Head Books. You can see why. And a year later, after I started my publishing company, that book that you're holding in your hand was born. And it was the most important day of my life, because it made me realize that this knucklehead kid from the Bronx, who grew up on welfare, whose mother had him at 15 years old, whose father was in jail for most of his life, who had never been to college, can do anything he puts his mind to. The very first month, I sold 1,000 copies just hustling, just knocking on people's doors. I went to schools, boys and girls clubs, YMCAs, anybody who would buy a copy, and I sold 1,000 copies in the very first month. The second month, I reached out to Carver Bank in New York City. They are the largest black-owned bank in the country, and I submitted that book along with a letter to the CEO of the company saying that this would be an amazing book for you to teach the children of your community about finance and entrepreneurship. 2 weeks later, the CEO called me and said, "This book is amazing. Would you please come to Harlem, talk to the children of our community, and oh, by the way, can we buy 1,000 copies?" "Yes, you can." And I quit my job that day. From that moment, I was an author who would tour the country talking to children about the power and the importance of reading through Danny Dollar Academy. I love telling that story because it is a story of perseverance and it is a story of believing in yourself. And I know inside each and every one of you is a purpose. Mark Twain, one of my favorite poets, said one of my favorite quotes: "The two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why." And the day that I had Danny Dollar in my hand, that was my why. That was the day that I know why I was here. I was here to be a children's book author. Inside each and every one of you is a why. Inside each and every one of you is a purpose, a reason why you are here. And it doesn't matter how crazy it sounds, if it's inside of you, it's what you're supposed to do. And don't you never, ever let anyone tell you that you can't accomplish your dreams. Not even 147 agents from New York to California. I think I deserve a round of applause for that. It was like an Oprah Winfrey moment. Come on, y'all. That's called being narcissistic. Okay, anyway. So I want to talk about 3 principles that I think are really important to entrepreneurship. So the very first principle is knowing you're organic from your opportunity. Some of us are born artists. Some of us are born leaders. Some of us are born musicians. There's something inside of us that just comes out naturally. That's organic. And then there's just opportunity. I saw that there weren't a book about financial literacy, so I saw an opportunity. So your purpose as an entrepreneur doesn't have to be organic. It can be something that you see as an opportunity. The second principle that I think is important as an entrepreneur is you should never say these 2 words. Entrepreneurs do not say, "I can't." What entrepreneurs do is that they say to themselves, "How can I?" Entrepreneurs don't say, "I can't." They say, "How can I?" Every time I look at the moon, I think of a young boy looking up at the moon and saying, "One day I'm going to walk on that moon." And then Neil Armstrong became that boy because he worked really hard. And one day he got on top of the moon. He didn't say, "I can't." He said, "How can I?" The last principle I think is important, and it certainly was important to me, are these 2 words: I am. The things you say about yourself are what you will become. When you say that I am amazing, you will be amazing. When you say I am great, you will be great. It is imperative for you to do that. One of my greatest heroes, Muhammad Ali, said about himself that I am the greatest. And he said that even before he knew he was. And I think that's the principles that we need to have about ourselves. We need to be able to say that I am amazing. As a matter of fact, I want you to say it. I am amazing. I want you to say, I am incredible.
I am incredible.
I want you to say, I am successful.
I am successful.
And finally, I want you to say, I am Danny Dollar. Congratulations. Give yourselves a round of applause for being so awesome. And personally, I want to thank every single person in this room, from the educators to the sponsors to the staff to everyone here in this room. But the one person in particular I want to thank is Dr. Albarani, my brother. Without you, this does not happen. You are more than a colleague. You are more than a friend. You are a brother. And I am so grateful for our friendship and who you are. Danny Dollar forever, baby. Boom. So I think we've got a few minutes to take a few questions. Go.
Raise your hand. I got one question. All right, stand up.
Is that your only book you made?
No. I have 4 books. One of them is titled You Are Amazing. It's a self-esteem book to tell children how amazing they are. I have another book called When I Close My Eyes about a little girl who uses her imagination to take her to faraway places. And one of my favorite book is titled The Super Duper Kid. It is a classic good versus evil superhero story. I just finished writing a sequel to The Super Duper Kid. And so I have 4 books, but soon it will be 5. But I am currently about 6 chapters in to Danny Dollar Part 2, which is titled $2 Bill and will be out by early next year. Yeah.
We got a question right here.
What exactly did you think when your son got $50?
I was blown away. Because like I said, I'm like, all right, we'll go do a lemonade stand. And I'm thinking he's going to make $5 or $6. But cars kept coming to buy lemonade, and they wouldn't stop. And even one person bought 1 cup of lemonade for $20. He was so proud of this young boy being an entrepreneur, he bought a $20 cup of lemonade. So when he made $50 at the end of the day, I'm like, well, I didn't see that coming, you know. So but then his next question is the reason that Danny Dollar exists. He said, Dad, what am I going to do with all this money? And I saw opportunity. So.
I have a question. Hello?
Yes.
How old were you when you made this book?
So, I started writing Danny Dollar when I was 40. It came out when I was 42. So took about 2.5 years to come out. So Danny Dollar came out at about 8 years ago.
We got another one right here.
Yes.
How much money did Danny make?
Overall, like through the course, that's actually a really good question. Someone asked me that question recently. I never really gave it any thought. But if I had to guess, with as hard as Danny works and all the money that he saves, which is really important, I would say at this stage in his bank account right now, I would say he's got somewhere about $20,000 on his way to becoming a millionaire.
All right, we have a question over here.
How much money did you make over the past year?
Well, that's an interesting question. You know what? I used to be really embarrassed to ask that question. But you know, I said before, money is a tool. And money is something we shouldn't be ashamed of. Money is something that we should be able to say and talk freely about. So I used to not answer that question, how much money that I made, because I thought it was a weird question. But I think it's fair to ask, and I think it's fair for you to know to what the aspirations are of an author. So I'm an independent author, which means it's pretty much just me. I don't have a big publishing company. It's just me. Last year, I made about $120,000. But I made most of my money not from selling books, but from speaking engagements and going around the country and talking to children. That's how I made most of my money. The money I make from selling books, I actually kind of just keep the lights on for Danny Dollar and pay for my staff. So, but that's a great question.
All right, we've got a question all the way back here.
How old is your favorite entrepreneurs?
So, probably my favorite entrepreneur, I don't know if anybody knows who this is. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk. Has anyone ever heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? He is really weird. He's loud and obnoxious, and he is really relevant on social media. He also has a potty mouth, so don't look him up. But he is my favorite entrepreneur, and I'll tell you how he got started. He came from another country. His father started a wine business, and that wine business went from $6 million a year till he took it over and made $30 million a year. Right now, Gary Vaynerchuk is probably worth about $500 million. So he's my favorite entrepreneur because he's young, he's funny, and he's truthful.
Got a question here.
What did your son do with the money?
That is a great, great question. So he made $50. I told him he got to take $10 and put it in the bank. He has to take $10 and give it to his investor. He has to take $10 and donate it to a charity. And the rest of the money, he can do whatever he wants. So that was the deal. So some he invested, some he gave back to me, to his investor, some he saved, and he spent the rest.
We have a question?
What inspired you to keep going when everyone said no to your book?
That is a great question. I thank you for asking that question. I knew that there was something great about this idea. And I knew, a lot of people would say, did you envision all the success that you were having? And a lot of people go, no, I didn't see it coming. No, I saw this coming. The day I finished that manuscript, I said, this needs to be a program in schools to educate children about finance and entrepreneurship. So the thing that kept me going is you. Knowing that this book was important to you. And I said, I'm not going to let you down. I'm going to create this product no matter how many people tell me no, because I think this book is important and this principle is important and this message and mission is important for you. And so I was not going to let anyone stop me. Nobody.
Have you bought any young entrepreneur things that someone was selling when they were young?
All the time. I can't drive past a lemonade stand without stopping. It's impossible. So yes, whenever I see a young entrepreneur doing something, I always have to patronize them, and I also big them up on social media because I think that's really, really important. Speaking of social media, again, adults in the room, if you're posting anything or making any pictures, use the hashtag DDA2019. Got that, adults?
How many books do you plan on making?
That is a great question. My plan is I have the second Danny Dollar will be out in about a year from now. My plan is to have maybe at least 10 volumes of Danny Dollar. That's the plan. But I have other books also that I'm working on, so I got a lot of writing to do.
Why did Diddy Dollar make a lemonade stand?
Say it again.
Why did Diddy Dollar make a lemonade stand?
Why did he make a lemonade stand? That's a really good question. I think that what's special about Danny Dollar is that he sees an opportunity, and in the book you could see that it was a hot summer day. And what are people, on a hot summer day, people are what? They're thirsty. So again, Danny Dollar sees an opportunity. So he's like, he's not gonna build a lemonade stand in the wintertime because people are not hot and thirsty in the wintertime. He built it in the summer because he saw an opportunity. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about this question. This is a question almost every person has asked or will ask in their life. I wish somebody would make a... We've all said that. We've all said, we've got an idea and said, I wish somebody would make a different brand of social media, a more comfortable pair of shoes, a cooler hat. Well, no hat is cooler than this, but anyway. But whenever someone says, I wish somebody would make a, that's an opportunity for you to make that.
I think Danny Dollar made $1 million.
I think so too. Thank you.
Have you sold your books to any other countries?
I have sold my books in, there are several African countries that are using Danny Dollar. There are Norway, Australia, I think that's about it. Maybe there's a kid in Antarctica reading Danny Dollar Danny Dollar. But yeah, it's making the rounds. But first we're gonna have national domination here in America first before we branch out.
We got one right here.
When you were a kid, did you know you would become an author?
Not at all. Not even close. I had no idea about becoming a children's book author until my son asked me that question and I went to the bookstore and couldn't find a book. So I didn't even have the idea to think about becoming a children's book author until I was 40 years old, which is another testament that you are never too young or never too old to start finding your passion, ever. So, but no, I wanted to be a doctor, actually, because I am fascinated with the human body. I think the human body is the most amazing machine in the world. And the fact that our bodies work so well and we can do so many amazing things just blows my mind. So I wanted to be a doctor to help people feel better and be well. Yes?
if you could draw, if you could make the second Danny Dollar book, would he be older in that book?
No. Danny Dollar is going to stay the age he is for the rest of his life. He is never growing up. He's never getting old. He's never getting married. Well, that's not nice. But no, Danny Dollar is going to stay the same age for a long time.
Does your son still do his lemonade stand?
He does not. But what he does do is make sure that he gets 10% of everything I make. All right, that should be funnier than what I... But no, he has a job as a chef in a restaurant. He's 19 years old now, and he loves to cook, and he was going to go to culinary school, but he wanted to confirm that he wanted to do this, so instead of going to culinary school, he decided to work for a kitchen for a couple of years, and but eventually he will have his own restaurant. He's really an amazing cook.
Who was the illustrator of this book?
So the illustrator's name is John Shears, and I'm going to tell you a quick story on how I found him. So when obviously, Danny Dollar was my very first book, and I had no idea how to publish a book, much less how to find an illustrator, because I can't even make a good stick figure. So I was not going to be drawing anything. But I went on Craigslist, which is this place to find things. I Googled illustrators, and I couldn't find one. For months and months, I couldn't find an illustrator. So one day I was in church, and I said, God, I really need an illustrator. Please help me. And I asked the person next to me. I said, excuse me, I know this is a crazy question, but do you know anybody who can draw? And this older woman said, yes, my son there over in the choir. And so I approached him after church. I took him out for a cup of tea. I told him about this idea. He sent me a sketch, and I knew that that was my guy. And I think that was the long way of God saying, next time you ask me first. So, 3 more.
We've got one right here.
Are any of the characters based off anyone you knew?
Yes, especially the bad guys. The bad guys were definitely, in my projects where I lived, there was always people with strange names. And there was one guy called Fingers. And the reason he was Fingers is because he would always steal stuff. So Fingers kind of became one of the characters in my book. Pablo also, that's the thing about becoming a children's book author. You can take the people you know and make them good guys or bad guys in your books. So be nice to people, or they might make you villains in their future books. So a lot of the characters are people that I know.
Are you going to make Danny Dollar into a movie or TV show?
So I have approached Disney, Cartoon Network, Pixar, you name it. I've approached them all with the concept of doing something PBS, of doing something with Danny Dollar Academy, and none of them said they were interested. You know why? They don't want to hear from me. You know who they want to hear from? They want to hear from you. You are their customer. You are their client. They're not going to listen to old guys like me. They're going to listen to young people like you. So if you want to see Danny Dollar turn into a movie, contact Pixar and say, hey, you need to do something about this book. So really, I'm not even making that up. And if somehow or another you're able to turn Danny Dollar into a book, I will take everyone here to the premiere of that. I will pick up a limousine and pick you all up to go to the debut of Danny Dollar the movie. I have that on the record. I will pick you all up. All right.
So, why did you have some cuss words in the book?
Some what words?
Some cuss words in the book.
I had a cuss word? What was the cuss word I had in there?
I forgot, but I know it's a cuss word in there.
Well, I want proof. I want you to let me know what that word was, because if there is a cuss word in there, I have an editor to fire. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. But that's pretty funny. So listen, give yourself a big round of applause for being so awesome. And also, give your teachers a big round of applause for their awesomeness, for what they do. And finally, If you want to show some love to the co-creators of Danny Dollar Academy, you can do that too.
That was amazing, Ty. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for being amazing listeners and being participants. The next step is going to be about you all. You all did some projects, right? All right. So what we're going to do next is if you could pull up the PowerPoint presentation. Should be up. All right, so this is going to be the order of the presentations, just so you're prepared. First, we're going to have Central Elementary. Then we're going to have Holy Trinity, Rothenburg, and then we're going to end with Southgate. So for Central Elementary, I hear you have some words to share with us.
Before I say anything, Miss Soller says persuasive letters to Pixar and Disney. We're going to do that for that movie. My name is Angie Schmar. I'm a counselor at Central Elementary School, and I have the privilege of teaching a class called Character Ed, and I absolutely love that class. And I had the privilege of working with 165 fifth graders to do this project. We try to tie it in with something that's important to us and to our school. And this year we've been talking a lot about kindness. So last year we did warm fuzzies. This year we did kindness rocks. So our students designed and painted and made these really cute kindness rocks. And our goal was to sell these rocks and have people hide them throughout Dearborn County where we live and have other people find these rocks and spread kindness. So hopefully they'll find them and they'll hide them. And the cool thing about it is we were really sweating because we sold 520 rocks to just the students and staff in our school, but we had 750. That was our goal. So we went out, we took our student leadership team and we went out to the streets of Dearborn County and Lawrenceburg, and we stopped at the police station and the mayor's office, and we hit the Dearborn County visitors, and everybody was kind of really thrilled. They loved the rocks. The mayor said, Ms. Schmar, I want the rest of those rocks. Whatever you guys don't sell, give me those rocks, and I want your kids to hide them in all the parks in Dearborn County. So he bought the rest of our rocks. So we made our goal of 750 rocks. So we were very excited about that. But our kids are fifth graders, so they move on to another school. We do invest this money. We put it in an account, and we use it for the following year. But we give our money to Big Brother, Big Sister because we have an awesome mentor program in our school that helps our students immensely, and it's in all of our schools. So we are honored to help them. So that's what we do with ours every year. So these group of kids are amazing. Their teachers are amazing. They were a great group to work with, and this is their project.
Entrepreneurs. The thing that I have learned most is saving and being an entrepreneur. When you save, it can help yourself a lot right now and in your future. If you start saving, you could have thousands of dollars when you're older. Let's say we sold all of our rocks, which we would be able to help people for a good cause. We fifth graders are right now entrepreneurs.
That was amazing. Good job, Central. Round of applause for Central. All right. Next up is Holy Trinity.
Right here, right here, right here. Okay. So, watch here. Watch the movie.
Our business is called From Cuttings to Cha-Ching. We use the kalancha for our clippings. We also used other plants. The clippings took a long time to grow roots. It was really hard to wait. The roots finally started to grow, and we finally had roots. We had a great time planting the clippings, and it was really fun to be with our friends. There was lots of teamwork. Helping each other gets the job done. Trimming bulbs and planting was a good experience. Almost done planting our finished product. There were a lot more clippings than we thought. Planting is a messy job. We have to clean up plants. Taking care of our plants and praying for sun.
Handouts were given to our customers as they bought our plants. Here's how to plant daffodils, how to plant their plants, how to plant emeralds, how to plant irises, how to plant strawberries, and how to plant kalanchas. Our plant types were strawberries, kalancha, philodendron, iris, daffodil bulbs, plants, amaryllis, and we had a lot, but some of them died before the sale. And we took 38 strawberries, 36 kalancha, 32 philodendron, 12 iris, 4 daffodil bulbs, 4 spider plants, and 3 amaryllis, and we sold them all. And most of our prices were 50 cents, but some were more because of the quality. And our budget was $20 because most of it was donated, except for we had to buy soil and use the table. And we sold, and we raised $100, but we really raised $125. And here are some of the workers from Cuttings to Cha-Ching. They worked April 13, 2019. Our goal was to raise $100. It will be donated to Children's Hospital to help fight childhood cancer. Here's our early morning setup crew. They help set up tables and get everything ready. And here's some of our advertisement. Here's one of our 2 tables at the sale. And this is some of us making sales. And all plants were sold by 11:30 a.m. We exceeded our goal. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to play it.
Okay, for Holy Trinity? Rothenberg. Thank you so much, Holy Trinity. Round of applause for Holy Trinity one more time. Next up is, you got the clicker? Could you click to the next? Thank you. Next up is Rothenberg Elementary.
Hello, everyone. We are Rothenberg Preparatory Academy. And these are several of our 4th grade students who are going to present to you their presentation. Okay, so I'm going to give the mic to the students, and they're going to do their presentation.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn, and our company name is Organic Lips, offering homemade chapstick, presented by Rothenberg Preparatory Academy, 4th grade students.
Business name. The name that we came up with for our business is Organic Lips. We picked this name because our product is 100% organic and is used on your lips. We think the name goes well with the product.
Idea. Chapstick is always in need. And a need in the world to keep these lips moisturized and healthy. It can help keep your lips from being chapped or dry. We decided to make this product because our older students are making sugar lip scrub. These two products make a great team for sales at our school and in our community.
Target customer. Our target customers are people of all ages. Every gender and age can benefit from our all-natural homemade product. Go from this to this.
Finances. Our startup costs for 100 units and $79. The price per unit cost to make one is 79 cents. We are selling our product for $2 each. Our sales will be $200 and after we deduct our startup costs, we will have a profit of $121.
Beeswax, 1 pound, $10. Coconut oil, 32 ounces, $16. Essential oils, 3-pack, $10. Chapstick tubes kit, $23. Almond oil, $10. Shea butter, $10. Total is $79. Thank you.
Advertising. We will advertise our product using flyers, posters, and social media. Our advertisement will include 1, product, 2, price, 3, place, 4, promotion. Sometimes we will market our product as a package with 6 greater sugar lip scrub. Both of these products enhance the health and beauty of your lips.
Moving forward, we hope that we do well with sales. We want to invest back in our business and keep it growing. Since chapstick is a product people always need, we hope to always have customers. Thank you!
And we also brought one chapstick here for the author today. And we have a pop-up shop tomorrow at Mortar and OTR. So if you want, you can come check us out. We have all different type of products for our school. Thank you again.
Good job, Rothenberg.
Where do I take this?
I will take the clicker. Yeah, they have one already. Yeah. All right, good job, Rothenberg. Round of applause for Rothenberg again. Next up is Southgate Elementary. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Preston from Southgate Public School, and this is Brianna and Selena. And we have been learning about smart business choices and entrepreneurs.
An entrepreneur is someone who starts their own business. We had a young entrepreneur named Allie come to our school and talk to our class.
Allie told us about how she started her business of walking dogs when she was only 9 years old. Today, her business name is called Allie's Walkabout, and she has inspired me to start my own business. I will be having a bake sale next month.
My idea was to make a mobile lemonade stand on my bike.
My idea was to sing for people.
Our class started a business of selling T-shirts like the ones we are wearing today. My classmates will be telling you about earning savings in banks.
We learned about savings on pages 3 to 6. You know saving accounts are a good thing to pick. I put my money in the bank as a deposit. I keep it there so later I can withdraw it.
I earned a lot of money from my income. I put my money in the bank so I don't lose some. I'm gonna earn money for later, so one day I can buy a toy mater.
We've also been learning about budgets. Budgets are choices you make to spend and save your money on each year on needs and wants. When you make a choice, you'll have to give up something like time or money. We call the thing that you give up an opportunity cost.
The most important things about opportunity cost is needs and wants. Needs are the things that you can't live without, and wants are the things that you can live without.
Like I need nice clothes.
No, that's a want. You need things like a house, food, and water.
Hi, my name is Cherish. This is Chloe. This is Trinity. And we learned about different ways to pay.
I'm going to pay with the credit card.
You should pay with a mobile app.
Cash is king, though, so you should pay with cash.
But isn't credit better than cash?
No, because if you keep using credit and loans, you might not be able to afford stuff back.
Cash is king. Pay with cash.
We've also been learning about investing, which is where you give money to a business hoping you will earn more money in return. When you invest, you take a risk. You could be rewarded with more money, or you could lose money if the business doesn't perform well. When investing, you don't want to put all your life savers on just one company. You need to diversify so that if a tornado comes and destroys your business, you still have some good investments in other places. We believe that the best investment you can make is to invest in yourself. We started a business selling these T-shirts that we are wearing, and we have made enough profit to stop at Grader's on the way home to celebrate our business success with some sweet ice cream.
All right. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? All right. I am so proud of everything you guys have accomplished. Could I get another round of applause for everything that you've done? Congratulations on reading the book, doing the lesson plans, and then building your own business. That's amazing. What we're gonna do next is we're a little bit ahead of time, so we're gonna have lunch. Let me tell you how lunch works. 1 second. The way it's gonna work is you're gonna sit at your table and the teachers will tell you what to do. There's trash bins around. Our responsibility is to leave this place as clean as it is right now when we leave, okay? The other thing that's gonna happen is you guys didn't have enough of Ty Jackson, did you? All right, so what he's gonna do while you're having lunch is he's gonna come to your tables and sign some of your books. All right. So, hello, I'm still talking. Thank you. Later on, I'm going to get back on this mic. It's going to be loud over here, but I want you to watch for me because we're going to get a picture, all of us together. You think we could do that? I think we can. All right, teachers, I'll walk up to your tables to tell you how lunch goes.